Hi, my name is Matt Landsberg with Eric Finn Custom Clothiers. We're talking about how to purchase a suit and how to make a suit fit well. In this particular segment, we're going to talk about what makes a quality suit. People frequently ask me, what's the difference in price between a off-the-rack suit that's $200 and a higher-end suit that can be upwards of $2,000 or $3,000. First thing to consider in a suit is the fabric. That's obviously the first thing you see, and really has a lot to do with how the suit performs. Fabrics are rated, and a lot of people have heard about super ratings. Well, they start out as a super, you can just have 100% wool and super 100s up to super 220s or super 250s. What that means is how thin the individual strand of wool is measured in microns. So for example, a super 100 is going to be about 18.5 microns, whereas a super 200 or 220 will be around 13 microns. Just as a frame of reference, a human hair is around 60 microns, so you can get an idea how thin that is. Now, why does that matter? The thinner that piece of wool is, basically the more luxurious the fabric is going to finish and feel. So it's got just an overall more luxurious finish. It also has a bit more sheen to it and has a tendency to perform better. However, I've got a lot of people that come to me and say, well, Matt, do you have a super 200? And I say, well, is there any particular reason you want a super 200? In my opinion, marketing plays a big role in the higher super numbers. Once you get above about a super 150, the difference between a super 150 and a super 200 is pretty irrelevant. And in some cases, I've seen a higher quality fabric as a super 100 from a top quality brand versus a super 200 of a lesser known fabric. As most people know, fabrics and cloth can be bought all over the world, but this is one time where I really believe in the brands of the fabric. Purchasing a fabric that is from a reputable mill is really worthwhile versus getting something that may be made in a place that's not quite as well known for their milling abilities. And so one might be a super 200 and the other one might be a super 100 or super 150, but it's going to perform ultimately better than that super 200. Other things to consider with the suit is the chest piece. The chest piece is not fused. It's made of canvas, and it's an important aspect to know that the canvas has been pre-shrunk. When you put a suit through the dry cleaner or in any real hot environment, hot and steamy environment, if the canvas piece within the chest that gives the suit a lot of its shape, if that hasn't been pre-shrunk, then it's going to shrink when you put it in the dry cleaner. You're going to have all kinds of issues, and the fabric's going to pucker, and that's something that happens. That will really shorten the life of the suit. You can't go and ask your local retailer if the canvas has been pre-shrunk. This is one of those things, and probably one of the few times where you can usually depend on the brand to know whether it's been pre-shrunk. Everybody should pre-shrink the canvas, but you can't guarantee it. But those with more to lose, particularly those with the higher end brands, know that it's a good idea to pre-shrink it. Otherwise, you're going to be unhappy with that suit after a year or two. The other thing about the inside of the suit, something you can't see, is whether or not it's fused or it's a hand-sewn interfacing. When it's fused, that's basically glue, just pressing the canvas piece up right against the cloth. There's a way you can tell if a suit's been fused. One way is you can just reach, for example, right above the pocket, and if you can feel the fabric independent of anything else, if it feels pretty thin, it's just fabric, you know it's not fused. When it is fused, you've got a little bit thicker canvas and fabric together in there. The downside, again, with something being fused is that when it goes to the dry cleaner and that glue can shift over a period of time, when it gets hot and moist, it'll slide, and that again causes puckering, or basically kind of buckling within the suit, and it looks poorly made, and something that you don't want to have in your suit. When ideal, you want it hand-sewn interfacing. This, of course, costs more as there's more handwork in the suit, but it's something to consider.
To watch the other segments in this video series or for how-to videos on almost any other topic, visit monkeyseat.com.